Ciaran, what about you, brother? How the hell are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just finished a gym session for all my members here, so I'm feeling really good at the minute. How are you? How's everything going with yourself?
Uh, Fucking living the dream, mate, as always. Living the
That's
dream.
it.
There's nothing
We're
else
all
for it, dude.
we're all
Ciaran, yep. First and foremost, mate, thank you for taking the time out of your day to come on and join us on Live at 11. I've actually been thinking about getting you on here for ages. And then it was like we were speaking during the week, and I was like, right, boom, great opportunity
cool.
right now. So yes, mate, thank you for coming on.
Nah, pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to finally make it on till the famous Live at 11. So I know it's a pleasure. It's always good catching up with you. So I'm buzzing over the moon to get on.
Yeah, Ciaran, we actually, well, I know your sister and my sister actually go way back. I remember Natalie run about Roisin for like literally years.
Yeah,
But
best.
I was what age do you now?
I'm 30 now. Getting old. Getting old.
Really? Fucking hell. Why did I think you were like in your early 20s or something? Why does it seem like you're always like you're forever in your early 20s?
Here I'm taking that one and I'm running with it. I'm gonna tell everyone. Lanny told me that today. That's me and my day. Me and my day.
It's good. I just kind of always just seen you as younger and in your early 20s forever. What Ciaran, you sort of knew from an early age that you kind of wanted to get into fitness. What was it that sort of triggered that? Was it your football background? Like what was going on there?
See to be honest, mate, it was probably a combination of loads of things. Like I think whenever I was younger, I always knew that I wanted to help people, and it was
Right.
either going down the teaching background. Obviously, as you know, I'm a qualified teacher, but just because of the football background, I always wanted to get into some form of coaching, and I always felt like I needed to make an impact on people. And to be honest, my daddy, as you probably know, like works with his hands. He's good with like fixing boilers and fixing electricians, and I was never cut out for that shit, man. I was like, oh. And he always said, "You'll be good working with people." He always told me that whenever I was younger.
Right.
And here we have 10 years later, mate. Recently opened up my gym, and now I'm making an impact on like a broad range of people. So I've known I absolutely love my job. I know a famous saying, "You'll never work a day in your life like if you love your job," and I'm walking proof of that. I absolutely love making an impact on people, helping people physically, mentally. I always knew from a young age that it was always going to be a part of my career path, like trying to help people, whether it was coaching, whether it was helping kids with like education, whether it was helping older people, all different abilities and backgrounds. I just knew I was going to almost like try and make like a positive impact on people's lives.
Nice. Well, that was actually my next question. Like, did you always sort of know? Well, we kind of skipped ahead a few steps. You're talking about the gym, and we're going to get that because I can't wait to hear about that a bit. But did you always sort of know that you wanted into fitness? And you already sort of answered that question for us. But you went to uni, specifically remembering you going there. What did you study at uni?
So I went and studied a course called Sport and Exercise Physiology.
Right. How did you find it?
I loved it, mate. I know, like within the fitness industry, there seems to be like this conversation about qualifications. You know yourself, and do you need a degree or do you need a master's for like to be a successful like almost like trainer or coach? But for me, mate, I loved my uni degree. I feel like it actually gave me like the willpower to constantly go through CPD, like whether it was going down to do a kettlebell course for yourself. Anyone wants to do a kettlebell course with an Lenny, LOL. But whether it was like going to do CPD courses with EPI with Randy Adams, who's like another one, whether it was like nutrition courses, kettlebell courses, like I always knew that that degree almost gave me that almost like will to learn. You know, like it almost like I needed a little bit of fire in my belly that I want to get better, to keep on progressing. And as you know, like the industry is constantly changing all of the time. So I just felt like my degree just gave me that little bit of a motivation to learn, to constantly try and evolve, changing all the time.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So it kind of gave you a head start because, again, I remember. Well, I don't know if you were just starting. If you were just starting out at the time, it seemed like you were just starting out. But now you tell me you're fucking 30. It
Yeah.
seemed like you were just starting out. And I remember thinking, you're already ahead of the game with whatever. I mean, I don't know. Was there stuff that actually crossed over to the gym floor? Was there stuff that you studied that you is actually usable? I think this is the conversation that a lot of people have today when it comes to, do you need a degree, whatever it is. I think the conversation that people have is it actually going to apply to shit that happens in business or on the gym floor, right? And I think it varies, and I think it depends on who is your teacher and who's your mentor that actually takes you through that. So in your case, it sounds like you've had someone there that has actually given you something that is like tangible. Whoever that person was, they've said, no, listen, if you want to develop, then you have to do this here. So it already seemed like, based on what you had done previously, that you were ahead of the game. And I think, obviously I speak to a lot of sort of uni leavers and stuff, and they're not always as fortunate as that.
Yep.
Like they don't always have things that actually cross over, or people that actually guide them in the way that they need.
Yeah. For me, it's a great point, because like almost whenever you're starting off like that journey, whether you are deciding to go to, say, like elite, to do level 3 to become a personal trainer, or you're deciding, well, I'll go to uni, or maybe the guys who have just finished, you're almost thinking of those things like, oh, I could have just went and done a level 3, which is great. And like obviously there's good organizations and institutes who like obviously graduate a lot of good personal trainers like yourselves. But for me, like some of mine did crossover, because it actually, it made me be picky, because like even learning the way to write, I know it sounds silly, but like communication is so important. Like communicating with your athletes, communicating with your clients, what way to write a message, what way to take a message, being a good listener. Like uni give me all that. I think uni give me all those tools that almost like think about ways to receive messages, put your message across, put it in a professional way, because within the industry it's important that like if you want to like be the cream, almost like raise to the top, you almost have to like hold yourself really to a high standard. And I think university done that for me. I just think it made me push myself a little bit more with like the right tools to obviously have a little bit more almost tools in the toolbox to almost stand out away from everybody else, especially within our attachment area. There's so many good personal trainers within West Belfast, as you know, at the minute. So I just feel like it gave me a good starting point, as you say, almost like staying ahead of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Tell us a wee bit, because I know you do a lot of youth coaching. And you seem to have always done that. You seem to have always enjoyed that. Tell us a wee bit about that. What brought that on? And are you still doing it today?
Well, I'll answer the first bit first. Yes, I feel like within, because I was tapping into like the football side of things, like because there's so much footballers, you know yourself, like there's so many footballers around this area. It's a really popular sport. It's definitely maybe top 1 or top 2 with like boxing or whatever background you come from, GAA or whatever. So I always knew there was a market there first and foremost. So there was no one really else like working with like youth football at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna try and like almost make that my niche, almost like to try and stand out from the crowd. So that was the first bit. Whenever I started coaching it, I knew it was a little bit difficult. Again, it comes down to making things really simple for like an 8-year-old to understand, and just exactly the same you would make it really simple for like a 40-year-old woman who's maybe a hairdresser. So it was difficult, but it made me a little bit better with what technique cues to give me, or technique cues to give them. and I absolutely love it, mate. I wouldn't change it. I love working with the future players at Irish League, future players of going across the water. I'm currently training Linfield, Glentoran academies, Crusaders academies. I've trained Clivenwell academies, professional players. So it's a massive part of my business, mate. And I love it, mate. I actually think it's one of those things that gives me a lot of joy whenever you see somebody performing really well. And obviously it gives you a lot of joy whenever you see people, professionals doing really well too, which is even better, mate. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Love it, mate. I'm completely honest. I think I've actually referred some youngsters to you in the past. And I'm straight up, like, you know, people ask me still today, and I'm just like, nope, doesn't light me up in the slightest. And that's a conversation that I have with our student. Like, one of the first conversations that I have with a lot of students who come to Elite, it's like, you know, be okay saying no to things that what doesn't fulfill you, because I've done that once, and I was like, it's just not me. I'm just not going to do that. It just doesn't get me excited. And I think this conversation here is a big lesson for anyone who's possibly just starting out, who doesn't really, I'm not saying doesn't understand, but aren't sure, should I be coaching this person? Should I be coaching this person? Like, who is it? And most of the time it's just like, figure out what excites you and then just lean into that. And that obviously does excite you a lot, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, I actually got a big opportunity recently, and a part of me, like my life has drastically changed like the last couple of months. I'm gonna obviously, like, I've moved home, new gym and so on, and obviously like wedding and stuff booked down the line. So it's big, massive changes and an opportunity. And it was almost like, I was like, geez, why take us or not? Like, this is a lot of work, like a lot of like maybe like out of pressure, maybe not stress. I don't like that word stress. Maybe a little bit out of pressure, more hours. And I took it because, for one reason, I love working with the youth footballers. I love working with the S&C side of things. I was like, why wouldn't I do it? Like, why would I say no to such an amazing door opening? But I completely agree. If you don't get that buzz, like that, working within that niche, like I remember, like, somebody came to me before about a bodybuilding shoot, and I was like, look, I can't do that. I'm not your guy for that one. So maybe I give recommendations to other people within the industry who I feel like would be a better suit for them. And yes, I'm turning away business, but I'm not going to stand there because I don't know. I haven't walked the walk, as they say. I haven't walked the walk. I haven't done a shoot before. I haven't almost done a bodybuilding competition before. So I would say just stay in your lane. I think that's really important. Stay in your lane. Get really good at the shit that you're good at, and that you, most importantly, that you actually enjoy. That would be my advice for any of the students, 100%.
Yeah, massive lesson there, mate. Let's fast forward a wee bit here. So you were in Academy 1 for a number of years. I'm pretty sure you know that it's been good to you throughout the years, but you know there's always there's a natural progression for a lot of good trainers, and it usually is right. You know, my books are full. I've been doing this here for a while. I need to now go and do my own thing, right? And you've opened up your own facility in Twin Spires.
Yep.
Back at Twin Spires. Absolutely. Yep. Elevate Fitness. Tell us a wee bit about that, because I know no one knows better than me that opening your own facility comes with a lot of added pressure, as you said earlier. A lot of anxieties. Will it work? Won't it work? A lot of questions going through your mind, a lot of hard conversations, a lot of decisions. How was that process in the lead up to it? Was it, you might have broke the mold? It mightn't have been a stressful process for you, or it might have, like, what was going on?
How long is this live in 11 going to be? Because I feel like I'll probably never stop talking here. But I've know, you know what it is, mate. It, like, for me, like, there was definitely a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, almost like, is it the right time? That was that was the question that was going through my head a lot. Like, as I said, I just recently moved home. Like, I'm really happy with all aspects of my life. I was like, do you really need to change it if it's not almost broke? Do you know, like, don't change it if it's not broke. And like, a lot of like family members as well. Like, my dad is like one of my biggest heroes, but he would be like, nah, don't be changing it if it's not broken. All like you're still making good money, like you're busy, why would you want to go out on your own? Like, more pressure. And it was almost like, right, if I don't do this now, right now, I'm never going to do this again. And am I going to live with that regret? So I just went, I'm going to go and do it. It was a quick turnaround. We got the keys like 5 or 6 weeks ago. It was bright yellow walls, didn't have a squat rack, didn't have any flooring down. It was absolutely crazy. There was loads of things that I didn't think about. Getting painters sorted, getting gym equipment sorted, you know yourself, like getting a good member of staff who you know, you like, you trust. All of those things that almost is taken for granted whenever people just walk through a gym door or a trainer walks through the gym door. You don't have to think about gas, don't have to think about electric bills, overheads, how to pay people, how to respect members, how to get. There's so much to this process that is absolutely unnoticed. But having said all that, I've been in the industry almost like 10 years. I had 10 years experience, and just to have the confidence to take that jump. I think sometimes whenever, especially like students just finishing, having the confidence to go and take another session, having the confidence to go and maybe sign up till a gym, like taking that step, taking the first step. It's like almost what we tell our clients, taking the first step into the gym is really, really tough. But once you do it, you find your feet and you just keep on chipping away. You just keep growing, you just keep improving. And from there, like you'll gain a little bit more almost self-belief that you can make it a successful business. And obviously getting help from yourself and getting help from really big leaders within the industry, in my opinion, in Belfast and the north of Ireland, like it helps, you know, like it helps, like reaching out and asking for help. I think that's a massive thing to say. Like, don't be scared to ask for help in anything that you do within the industry, because you'll feel way more supported and you'll probably feel that there's good people out there who's going to help you along the way.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Another massive lesson there. And I wish I had have heard you say that 12, 13 years ago before I started that journey, because I would have saved myself a lot of fucking stupid tax had I heard that a long time ago. Really cool, man. Yeah. I'm just thinking, I probably had the opposite conversation with you that your dad had, because I was like, you better fucking do this here right now. Go and look at the place, get it done. Oh god, I know. So funny, dude.
Definitely.
Nah, mate, that's cool. Definitely. What was the biggest obstacle that you come up against getting the place sorted? Was it agreeing on the terms? Was it the administration side? Was it the daily tasks? Because I know there's a lot of fucking shit goes into that. Was it trying to serve your people and open the gym at the same time? Like, what was the biggest obstacle?
See, for me, mate, because we were just coming out of a lockdown, it was really hard, one, agreeing the terms, and two, like almost like the fear of like just that obstacle alone, like COVID, like what way is the gym going to react again? Like, people has been out of training for like 3 or 4 months.
People go back to the gym? Like,
yeah, like, is people going to be doing like more online stuff at the minute? Are they going to like want Zoom all the time? Like some of my clients who are obviously now members at Elevate, like some of them were like going, I like Zoom, like I like just doing it at home. And some of them are like, I want to go back to the gym. So almost, as you say, like almost serving your people and almost agreeing the terms with not being able to go down till an office, speaking to people over the phone. Like, I like to do it face to face. Like, I need to see it in black and white in front of me. I don't want to be wearing a mask. Like, you know, like I wanted to go and meet the person personally. I actually almost like verbally agreed a unit that fell through. It fell through. Like, so I was like, that's it. I'm not doing it. Not doing it anymore. That's it. I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, keep personal training, like out of the facility at A1, which is a great gym, like great gym owners, like good trainers. And then I just went, if there's a unit there, somebody told me there was a unit there, and I went, and it was the best thing I've ever done. Best thing I've ever done. Like, I'm glad now that I didn't just throw the hands up, but there was a lot of obstacles along the way. COVID was a massive obstacle. I was doubting myself because putting myself under a little bit of pressure to, obviously, hopefully all my clients come with me, new gym. People don't like change, as you know. All those things was going through my head. So that was one of the biggest obstacles for sure, definitely that.
Love it. And the place has been rocking since you got it opened.
Yep, up way better than what I thought.
All of your
honestly.
expectations met.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
unbelievable,
absolutely.
dude. Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Excited. I'm excited to see what the future holds for you, dude. Final question. Final two questions actually. What's the one piece of advice you would give to any new trainer coming into the industry or thinking about opening a gym? And then two, if there was something that I should have asked you today but didn't, what would it be?
Right. One piece of advice. I'm gonna swear here, right?
Fucking rock on.
Don't be a dick. That's rule number one for me. Like, don't be a dick, because I feel like if you're going to survive in the industry, like it's good to be open-minded. It's good to almost like question yourself sometimes. Like, is there anything that I could do to serve my clients or members a little bit more? Is there anything I could learn to give my clients a little bit more support on, or a little bit more guidance on? Don't be a dick where you think you feel like you have an ego and there's nothing new to learn, because the industry is constantly evolving. And that would be my biggest message. I would actually go as far to say that the reason why I've got the opportunity to open Elevate and maybe meet really good people along the way, whether it's clients, members, or coaches, or other trainers in other facilities, is because of I'm not a dick. In my opinion, that's probably the only compliment that I'll ever give myself, is that I'm not a dick. But that would be
Nah,
the
mate,
first thing.
just you've no ego. That's what it is.
Yep. No ego. Just don't be an ego. Constantly want to upskill yourself in every aspect, whether it is, even though we were saying about like having one thing to focus on, but like learn a little bit about nutrition, sleep, how to manage your client's stress levels, how to manage your own time. Like, just be open-minded and constantly grow in all aspects whenever it comes to obviously serving your members or clients a little bit more. Second question, I'm not sure. What question would it? I don't know. I'll probably think of something whenever the thing's over.
Yeah,
That's a hard question.
that one always gets people, man. That one always gets people.
I think one of the things I didn't actually wanted to say, I think this is important as well, especially for the students, is see, whenever I first met you, can you remember me going down to your old facility? I can't remember what the street was in. It was in city centre. Can you remember that?
Yes, I do. Vaguely.
You asked
yes,
me
I
one
do.
question. You asked me one. Yeah. And do you know what question
Right.
he asked? He asked me, what kind of books have you read? You remember asking me that question?
Oh, yeah.
You asked me, what books have you read? Like, he didn't ask it like how much experience I've got. Like, he was just talking. It was just about being, I suppose, like the message is about like obviously like learning like from like good information, like not almost like falling under like the bro science sort of tradition of some people maybe learn about training and health and fitness. And I said I read a Dan John book, and you were absolutely over the moon. Like, it was like I give him £1,000,000 because I told you I was reading a Dan John book. But
Unreal.
I suppose the other thing that I wanted to say was like don't be scared to learn, and obviously don't be scared to like have a big personality. You know what it's like in the industry, like be like talkative, like put yourself out of your comfort zone. Like, I know you say this a lot with your obviously your message with all your students coming through the door is like, get out of your comfort zone, like talk to new people, meet new people, get in front of the camera, like all those things are going to obviously help you grow. And almost whenever you come a little bit more comfortable with yourself, you're obviously going to come a lot more comfortable with every single different variation and personality that comes through the doors of the gym. So you can obviously help them with their journey, with whether it's training, results, nutrition, sleep, whatever it is. Like you'll be able to help them because you're really comfortable with yourself.
Ciaran, that was absolutely unreal, brother. Thank you so much for coming on today, mate. You are an absolute legend.
No, thank you very much for having me, mate. I appreciate it.
No
I appreciate
problem,
you asking me to come on, and hopefully I maybe give somebody at least one wee thing to think about whenever they're moving forward with their wee career as a personal trainer.
I'm sure you will, mate. I'm sure you will. Thank you, dude. I shall let you get back to work.
Yep.
Adios, mate. Take
Yes,
care.
see you later.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.